Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my August Try a Chapter Part 2. No, August Try a Chapter. Try a Chapter tag August. You guys know me. This is a manic day today. So, I just want to thank you all for encouraging me to do this Try a Chapter because it's working. I'm getting my physical TBR down. Yes, the number was up slightly last month, but that was because I did Try a Chapter on borrowed books. So going forward, I'm going to try and borrow a lot less books or borrow shorter books, whatever. I'm still buying less. I'm still actually buying round about the same as I'm reading, which is productive. But this Try a Chapter and unhauling books that I bought, which I shouldn't have bought, it's actually working. I'm feeling like I'm getting more control of my book levels. My bookshelves don't scare me as much now because I know that if I'm a bit unsure of a book, do Try a Chapter. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. When I'm going to bookshops, I'm being a bit fussier. I'm not buying as many books. I'm buying ones that really jump out at me. And I feel like I've got getting things under control. Yes, I will be honest, I have just pre-ordered 2 new releases for September, but when you guys see on the channel which ones I've pre-ordered, you won't be surprised because they're authors I love, or series I need to finish. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I am so happy with these. I've also decided to mix things up a little bit in the fact that my Try a Chapters now will include books from different genres, or I may like 1 month do a specific genre and try 6 books from a specific genre. But this month I've decided to mix it up and go for books of different genres so I know that I'm getting through them. I'm not just specialising in one specific area. Anyway, enough rambling. You guys know this is done vlog style, so, and obviously today it's sunny out there at the moment, but it could rain. I've got kids to look after, so there'll be clips throughout the day which I'll then have to piece together and upload. First book that I'm going to try a chapter tag with is Hidden Figures, which I believe is a non-fiction book. The phenomenal true story of the black female mathematicians at NASA whose calculations helped fuel some of America's greatest achievements in space. Genius has no race, strength has no genre, courage has no limit. I bought this because a fellow booktuber that I was friends with at the time had it and I wanted to read it with her. But obviously we're no longer sort of chatting, so I think that part has put me off a bit. Now, I am going to try and decide. I'm not going to try and read too much of this, but I need to read enough that it's going to decide whether I want to keep it. So one chapter is literally only 8 pages. So I think I'm going to aim to do, I think I'm going to do 3 chapters. And that will get me up to up to page 23. So it's only 23 pages. No, 25 pages. So I'm going to actually just use use my noggin here. And I'm actually going to use this. I'm going to use some receipts and put markings about where I want to be on them. So I just said I'm using markings and I've just realised I don't have that, so I'm just going to get one of my notebooks. And this way I can remember how much I've told you guys that I'm going to read. And obviously if it doesn't grip me, I will read less. But if it does, then I'll read more. So I'm going to go to that bit on there. That'll be my first one I'm going to try and get to. Then another book that is a thriller book that I bought out my birthday money from the works last year. I bought it because I thought it looked a bit creepy. I thought I'd wanted to try scary books. But since then I've been a bit of a wimp. And I think I've done this on like one of my horror books or darker books DVDs. But nothing, I've not actually read it. Pretty Lizzie Higgs, so this is going to go in my thriller and horror bit. Pretty Lizzie Higgs is gone, burnt to death in her own hearth. Abby Mills met the enchanting cousin only once under the grand arch of Crystal Palace. But now unable to countenance her murder, he leaves his young wife in London and heads for a village of Half-Oak. This place may look picture perfect in the blowy, sun-drenched days of high summer, but it's steeped in order, dark beliefs. Albie is a rational man of science, but as he begins to deep into Lizzie's death, in this place where old tales hold and the hidden pages supposedly roam, the answers are slippery and further tragedy is half a step away. Okay, this is looking like it's going to petrify the bejeebers out of me. So I think this one does need to be one of the first ones. I don't think I'm going to read. I'm going to aim for like around about 20 pages. And no, my luck, this is not going to be even 20. Oh, okay. So again, it'll be 25 pages on this. I'm going to go up to chapter 4. But if this looks too scary, I won't read much more of that. I'm going to give this a go, but this is the one that, at the moment, this is the one that I'm holding least hopes on. I forgot to say, guys, at the start of this video, well, you guys would have seen, before I actually read them all, which ones out of these 6 do you think I'm going to keep, and which ones do you think are going to go? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll remind you of that at the end of the video. But at the moment, that is one that's at the moment creeping me out a little bit. So I don't know if that's not one I'm holding a huge amount of hope for. But I don't want to be negative. I do not want to be pessimistic. I'm going to be a good girl. Now I'm going for a completely different genre. I'm going to contemporary. This Jane Green book has been on my shelves for ages. And I finally decided I do need to try chapters on my contemporary books, because I have a habit of leaving them to the end of the month because I'm not excited by them. Now, I read Jane Green was one of my first contemporary authors years and years ago when I used to really love the contemporaries. But something about her books I don't think she's aged as brilliantly. So this is one that I've had on my shelves for a while as well. 8 years ago, Emma Montague is left behind in the strict confines of her upper crust English life and moved to New York City, where she's immediately found success in the world of finance. But her soulless, all-consuming job has only led to one thing, another life she didn't want. Answering an online ad, Emma finds a tiny ramshackle beach cottage to rent in the small town of Westport, Connecticut. It's a perfect project to satisfy Emma's passion for interior designs, if her new landlord, Dominic, is agreeable. This could be good. I'm quite excited about that, but it does need to get off my shelves. So when I say this is try a chapter, this is really only try 2 chapters, because 2 chapters gets me up to page 24. But this, I think I'll know very quickly, because I do like my contemporaries. So this is one I'm looking forward to, and it does get it off my shelves. That's the whole point of this. It's knowing whether it's worth, why I've not got to it and need to push myself. Also, by the way, mixing up these genres means that at the end of the month when I'm reading these, I'm not as scared. Now, this next one has not been on my shelves very long, but I've had mixed feelings about this author's books. This is Queenie Malone's Paradise Hotel by Ruth Hogan. Now, I got this last year when I went book shopping with Gemma. This copy is a gorgeous copy. It was actually £1.50. But I have had Sally Red Shoes, I think was one book by this author, and The Keeper of Lost Things is another. Now, The Wisdom of Sally Red Shoes I thought was okay, and The Keeper of Lost Things I thought was okay. But the fact that both of them have just been okay makes me not get excited by it. Now, I read The Keeper of Lost Things with Chloe this year, and it's just not jumped out at me. So I'm kind of intrigued again. I think, yet again, I'm going to read 3 chapters. It seems to be 3 chapters, because that gets me to chapter 24. Which is, again, 25 pages, which isn't bad. 25 pages on 6. And we've got Tilly and Tilda. So it looks like we've got 2 different predominant characters. And I get to read about both of them, which is what I wanted to do. But yeah, I think I've had real mixed feelings about this author's books, and they've not jumped out at me necessarily. So even though this looks like a gorgeous book, the fact that I didn't like The Keeper of Lost Things as much has put me off. Tilly was a bright young girl who liked playing with ghosts and matches. She loved fizzy drinks, swear words, fish fingers and Catholic churches. But most of all, she loved living in Queenie Malone's magnificent Paradise Hotel in Brighton. But Tilly's childhood was shattered when her mother sent her away from her only home she ever loved with no warning. Years later, the adult Tilda goes back to Brighton after her mother dies, and with the help of her beloved Queenie, sets about unravelling the mystery of her exile from the Paradise Hotel, only to discover that her mother was not the woman she thought she knew at all. Actually, this is kind of exciting. This feels to me like it might be a keepy, but it'll be one that I need to get to because I've put it off for so long. So I'm actually quite excited by that one, actually. That to me feels like it could be a keepy. Let's have a look. Now, this next one I've got again because of a booktuber that I used to subscribe to, and again I picked up this series for my sister Charlie. It was a gifted book. She gave me the 3 main books in the Millennium series, but I kind of really don't necessarily want to read this. I've heard mixed reviews. At one point it was all over. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was all over BookTube. These books are massive. They are over 500 pages, and this is the shortest one. There's severe cuts among thrillers An intelligent complex with a gripping plot and deeply intriguing characters. I've got three books, so if I unhaul this, I unhaul all three of them. Millennium. The industrialist Heinrich Wenger, head of the dynastic Wenger Corporation, is tormented by the loss of a child decades earlier and convinced that a member of his family has committed murder. And then you've got the journalist Mikhail Bolonsky, delves deep into Wenger's past to uncover the truth behind the unsolved mystery. And then The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Elizabeth Salander is an enigmatic, delinquent and dangerous security specialist, assists in the investigation. Okay, so this is one that, if I'm being honest, I don't hold a huge amount of hope for, because something's obviously, it's the size of this series scares me. This really is going to be only tri-chapter, because one chapter is 28 pages. And I'm not holding up much hope. So to me, that's not going to be one that I'm holding up much hope for. But I did promise my sister that I would give it a go. She didn't like it, so she's obviously unhauled it. And the next book I got given by the lovely Gemma from Read a Book Gem. And she was getting rid of books. And this book, I've been told, is a historical fiction. So again, I'm mixing up the genres. Set in Edinburgh, 1847, Will Raven is a medical student apprenticing for the brilliant and renowned Dr. Simpson. Sarah Fisher is the Simpsons' housemaid and has all of the Raven's intelligent but none of his privileges. As bodies began to appear all over Old Town, Raven and Sarah find themselves propelled headlong into the darkest shadows of London's underworld, gruesome death. This looks a bit gory, a bit scary, but I need to decide if I'm going to read it. So, again, it's 3 chapters, because 3 chapters takes me 21 pages in. I don't know about this. I've heard mixed reviews about these books, but again, they're darker, scarier. Are they right for me at the moment? Let's give this a go. So, those are the 6 books. Let's give them a go. Let's see what gets hauled and what gets unhauled. Fingers crossed I do all right this month. Let's see. So like I said, let me know in the comments below which ones you think are going to be hauled or unhauled. I've got 2 books that I'm starting today, so I need to get on with those. I've got my buddy reads, I've got my series books, I've got different things to read, and obviously kids to look after. So this may be filmed over a long period of the day today. But I'm starting to think I may actually change the order, actually, because that might be read before. Actually, guys, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm going to read the 3 scarier ones first. So I'm going to read them in... Obviously, this Girl with the Dragon Tattoo doesn't need to be rushed. So I'm going to read them in that order. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. So I didn't even read 3 chapters of Hidden Figures, and I read 2. And to be honest, even that was a bit more than I needed to. Yes, I can see this is going to be quite an informative book. It's really talking about these women who did stand and help us win the space race. And I think for the people who are interested in space or interested in reading about these women that did that, I think that would be quite good. It uses the word Negro. Now, I don't think, to me, that feels offensive and not one I would like to use. I don't like the way that's been used. This is apparently made into film. The film I may see, I may not. To me, it's a very informative book, but not for me. I don't think that that's the kind of information I need to read about or want to read about necessarily. I like to read about women in history. I like to read about black women in history, but for me, this does not sound... It sounds quite analytical, and I'm not really into analytical information, and the writing's just not for me. So my first book is a definite unhaul, but I'm glad I tried it. It's one... If any of you guys want any of these books that I'm unhauling, please feel free to let me know in the comments and I will send them to you. But this one is definitely not for me. So, goodbye, bays. Now, I may read Hidden Figures before lunch, or I may probably read the next after lunch, because I've got housework to do, kids to feed, and you know me, busy bee. But I will see you all soon. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. So, I just read 3 chapters for The Hidden People, and I think it's a keepy. Don't know 100%, but it certainly got me gripped. It's got a historical fiction mixed with a bit of a thrillery, horror-y kind of bit. No horror or scary stuff yet, but there has been a death and they sort of talked about how that happened. I'm not 100%. I think this is a keepy. It does look more intriguing than I thought, and I certainly flew through the pages. So I think this is a keepy. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to go and start my pages. Finally got out in the garden, and of course the cat would have to be living verbal sick straight after I got out here. Now it's time for the next scary one, The Way of the Flesh. Little bit scared about this one, not sure how to feel about it, but I'll let you know in a minute. It's only a short clip because I'm not sure about the hidden people. I really haven't decided. So let's see what this one goes and see how I do. I'll probably stay out here and read this now, and then I've got a bit of housework to do before I do my buddy read pages that I'm buddy reading with Chloe today. Then the next couple. I'm going to try and do like 2 at a time now. So I've got 3 more to do. So I'm going to do this one, then I'm going to do a bit of housework, then another one, then a bit, and just go on and off. And I'll see you all soon. Bye bye. So literally read 20 pages of this, and it's not jumping out at me. There is nothing on here that's making me go, I want to carry on reading it. You know, like with that, I must admit, the hidden people's growing on me even more now, because with that I wanted to find out what was going on. With this, no, just not for me. So this one is a definite unhaul. So at the moment I am 2 versus 1. Let's see how I do. But this is like really, again, it's just not for me. I got it off of Gemma because Gemma had a both books that she was unhauling, and I thought I'd like it because it had like set in Edinburgh in 1847. So I thought the historical side, I would love it. But nothing has made me want to get it. And guess what? It's just started to rain. So I'm going to quickly sum up this clip and go in and do some housework before I start my buddy read with Chloe, and then I've got the other 3 books to read. So I'm halfway through this vlog. Let's see how I do. But yeah, 2 versus 1 at the moment. Bye bye. So I couldn't wait. I wanted to get this over and done with and know that if it was right for me. And yeah, as I predicted, it's not right for me. It does not seem like the kind of book that I think I could get involved in a series. It was a series goal that I was going to set myself for this year. But it's just not for me. It's too thrillery, kind of, just not right for me. Why do I push myself into reading, starting series or trying things? Like, I'm glad my sister gave me these 3 books, because otherwise I would have bought them and regretted it. I need to remember to try the first in a series and have an idea about whether it's going to be for me, rather than having these books on my shelves for ages, using up shelf space, using up space that I could use for other books, which obviously I'm going to want, and having this feels like a hangman's thing over my head, like with this kind of big books that's scaring me. Yes, I have other series upstairs that are big, but they're ones that excite me a lot more than this does. And I'm glad I've tried it. I'm glad I've done it, but it's just not for me. I think last year I pushed myself into picking up loads of books that I thought BookTube would like, or that I should read because they're the kind of books that everyone's talked about, rather than just going for what I want. Like, I was surprised, Hidden People, I hadn't heard about it. Yeah, and it's been on my shelves because I've been worried about it because it looked like a horror-y kind of thing. That's one I'm still thinking about. Whereas this, I tried it, and within about 10-15 pages I was like, do you know what, that's not for me. So I'm glad that I used this time on Try a Chapter to give it a go. But to know that now that's 3 big books that are off my shelves, I've got room to think about other books, and I'm not going to push myself. So yeah, another Unhaul, unfortunately. But one I'm glad I've tried, so I'm now going to have a bit of exercise. I was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to read my buddy books in the middle of Try a Chapter tag. But do you know what? I just want to get these tried, know what I want. I know what I'm like. I'm a goal-orientated person. I like to know that I've achieved or finished jobs before I start other jobs, because with my head injury, I think it's very important for me to start and then finish. Otherwise, I could easily overwhelm myself and get lost. The kids are finally out in the rain, which is a bit weird, but they're out, so it means I've got some peace and quiet. Just me and the cat sitting down, and I've just done a bit of hoovering, so I'm now going to go and preempt and get this space out, so already play around with my bookshelves before I start the last 2 contemporaries, which are 2 that I'm looking forward to. So far I've got rid of 3, and I'm only keeping 1. Wonder what the next 2 are going to be like. But let me go and rearrange my shelves and clear shelf space, which is so much fun. Yay! Bye-bye. Okay, so this isn't jumping out of me now. By the way, my cosy chair. Look, my cosy light, my cosy chair. So this is where I sit at night when I'm cuddling up with my blankets in the winter, or with just on it with my leg up in the summer. My knee is sore at the moment, so anyway, I'm just following my rambling. Yeah, I read 2 chapters of this. I had so much potential in the fact that I wanted to love it. It's been on my shelves. I loved Jane Green when I was growing up, but it's not for me. It just doesn't feel like with the contemporary, I want something I want to carry on reading. I want it to be something that sets me on a cozy feel, and this just isn't. I'm sad, but I'm glad again I tried it. It's pretty important. But again, it's not like I want to carry on reading it. And considering, I think it's about 400 pages. So with a 400-page book, especially with a contemporary, I want to be able to pick it up and not be able to put it down. That needs to be what it needs to be with the contemporaries, because especially the longer ones. But this just really isn't jumping out at me. It's not got that whole feeling. I don't even see where the falling is on it. I just don't see it. So, nope, another unhaul. So far, I've only got one keepy out of 5. Whereas actually, the last one, the Queenie Malone one, the one I was really nervous about, that keeps grabbing me. I'm really looking forward to reading that. I've got a funny feeling that it's going to be my keepy, even though I've put off reading it. It's really weird, isn't it? But yeah, I'm going to go and read that now. Put this on my unhaul. I've just cleared the space from getting rid of the Doodle trilogy one. That other one, Stig Larsson trilogy one, the Millennium trilogy. I've just cleared room on my shelves. So I've actually got room on my bottom shelves, and I'm actually clearing room off my bookshelves. That feels so exciting. It's like to know that now I'm not jamming as many books on. This dry chapter's brilliant. Thank you, Kelly from Cozy Reader Kelly, for getting me to do this. Loving it. Really feels positive. Anyway, I will read my last book, put a bit of makeup on again because I'm feeling a bit bleh, and show you all. But the rain's definitely affected my knees, so I think it's going to be a case of reading that, doing a bit more housework, and then trying to rest for the rest of the day on and off, because I think I might end up even on the painkillers because this is quite uncomfortable right now. Anyway, see you all soon. Bye-bye. Hi guys, so I have finished, Chris has got home, so I finished my pages for the Queenie Malone's Paradise Hotel, and actually this is my favourite out of the 6. Considering that I wasn't 100% on Ruth Hogan's other 2 books, this one has the potential of being a 5-star. In fact, this is probably going to be one of the next books I'm going to read. So I've got I'm being good. I'm only borrowing 2 books from the library this time. So, and there's 2 short books. So that's a bit of a sneaky peek. You would have seen them. So after I've finished my physical TBR and my books, this is going to be one of the next books I'm going to read. I like the dual timelines. I like the fact that we start off with Tilda as an adult, and her mother's just died, and then she's finding out, and then you go back to when she's Tilly as a child and her childhood innocence. This has already got me gripped. I'm hoping that the 2 timelines flow together really nicely, because Ruth Hogan does have a knack of that. She was quite good in that in The Keeper of Lost Things, and I did enjoy that bit of it. Yeah, this does look beautiful as well. I'm hoping I really like it, because it is actually a really pretty book. Look at those pages. I think that's why I bought it. It's got really gorgeous colours. So this is my biggest success. So I've got, yet again, only out of the 6 books, I'm only keeping Queenie Malone and The Hidden People. And my plan will be to read them by the end of the month. So in my wrap up part 2, you will see about this. Although you may sneakily, yeah, you'll see about this. I'm deliberately not going to read that one actually. I'm not going to read them until after I've recorded my wrap up part 1, because otherwise it's telling you guys which one I would have read. Because this is coming out after my wrap up part 1. So yes, as soon as my wrap up part 1's filmed, I'm going to read that one and that one. So I'm going to end the month on these 2 books, and that will physically get them off my unread TBR. And then I'm unhauling all of these, plus the other 2 Stig Larsson books. So I've unhauled 6. Bear in mind today I did kind of buy 2, but we're going to forget about that, I'm still doing all right. I've unhauled 6 and I've bought 2. I'm also finishing another book to read today, so that's good. I'm actually enjoying this. I really have enjoyed doing it. So it's a success. I've got rid of 6 books off my shelves, and even though I've only read the chapter for 4, so that's a real positive. And I'm keeping 2. So that's a positive. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, bring on my ding-a-ling. And let me know if there is any. I probably won't try not to set, not being rude, but these books are very heavy, so I won't be able to send those. So unless you live near here and you want those. If not, but if anyone wants any of these 3, let me know in the comments below and I'll send it, and message me and I'll send you one of them. That's fine. So let me know. First come, first serve, but I will send those out. So if anyone wants those, let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, bring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.